Hello and welcome and namaste from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. France's newly appointed Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu quits just a day after appointing his cabinet. Far right's Marine Le Pen demands holding of snap parliamentary elections. The Election Commission of India announces two-phase Bihar elections. The first phase of polling will be held on the 6th of November, the second on the 11th. Votes will be counted on the 14th of next month. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal is in Doha for a two-day Qatar visit. Way forward on finalizing terms of reference for a comprehensive economic partnership agreement or CEPA expected to be taken up. And Americans Mary Brankow and Fred Ramsdell with Japan's Shimon Sakaguchi bagged the Medicine Nobel for the research into how the immune system is kept in check. France's President Emmanuel Macron on Monday accepted Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu's resignation, said the presidency, plunging the European nation further into political deadlock. His resignation was unexpected and unprecedented and marked another major deepening of France's political crisis. Opposition parties immediately urged President Macron to resign or call a snap parliamentary election, saying there was no other way out of the crisis. Lecornu, who was Macron's fifth prime minister in 2 years, stayed in the job for only 27 days. His government lasted 14 hours, making it the shortest-lived in modern French history. Lecornu had faced the daunting task of finding approval in a deeply divided parliament for an austerity budget for next year. Speaking after tendering his resignation, Lecornu blamed the collapse on the inability of political parties to compromise.
The very principle of building a compromise between political parties is to be able to combine green lines while respecting a number of red lines. But we cannot be at both extremes. Some opposition parties have understood this, and I think and I want to thank them. Now we must be able to move forward, or at least those who want to find a path for the country must be able to move forward.
Israel and the Hamas are to hold indirect negotiations in Egypt on Monday amid hopes of a possible agreement on ending the Gaza conflict based on Donald Trump's ceasefire plan. Trump has promoted a 20-point plan aimed at ending the fighting in Gaza, securing the release of remaining hostages and defining the territory's future. Israel and the Hamas have agreed to parts of the plan. The Hamas on Friday accepted the hostage release and several other elements, but sidestepped contentious points, including calls for its disarmament, which it has long rejected. Trump welcomed Hamas's response, saying he believed Hamas had shown it was ready for a lasting peace. He told Israel to stop bombing Gaza immediately, but its attacks on the enclave continued through the weekend. Speaking to reporters ahead of talks, President Trump sounded an optimistic note, saying that he and a lot of other countries surrounding Israel had some very good meetings with the Hamas.
Very quickly, we had some very good meetings. The countries of the world, a lot of the countries surrounding Israel, frankly, Muslim, Arab, and many others have had great meetings with Hamas, and it looks like it's working. So we'll wait for a little while, see how it all turns out.
Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that the responsibility lies with the Hamas to fully accept the peace plan.
Accepted the deal, as did all the world. It was President Trump's plan. Hamas says that it accepted the deal. Now the onus is on Hamas. This plan consists of two parts. The first part is releasing all the hostages. Israel makes a tactical withdrawal, stays in Gaza. And then the second part is meant to demilitarize Gaza and disarm Hamas. That will be negotiated. Of course, I can't tell you if Hamas will agree to it. I think that it's possible. I hope it'll happen, but I can't guarantee that it'll happen. And so if it doesn't happen, what President Trump has said is that he will back Israel completely in acting forcefully against Hamas. Well, let's hope that we can finish it the easy way and not the hard way.
Meanwhile, a day before the conflict's second anniversary, Israelis gathered at the Hostages Square in Tel Aviv on Sunday, praying for the return of the hostages. Many in the crowd sat in silence while others wept, or joined chants led from a makeshift stage. On the 7th of October 2023, the Hamas attack on Israel triggered the conflict in Gaza. The Hamas killed 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and about 251 were taken hostage. Trump administration officials issued a warning on Sunday that Americans will increasingly feel the pain of an ongoing U.S. government shutdown. Most federal operations remained shuttered as no tangible signs of negotiations have emerged between U.S. congressional leaders since President Trump met them last week. Here's a report.
The Trump administration has warned that it will start mass layoffs of federal workers if the shutdown stalemate persists. As the shutdown entered its fifth day, White House National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett said he still saw a chance that Democrats would back down. Hassett directs the White House's National Economic Council. He has pinned hopes for progress in talks during next week. Talks will center on addressing expiring Obamacare health subsidies. The Senate's Republican Majority Leader acknowledged the two sides were currently at a stalemate. US President Donald Trump said that firing of federal workers is taking place right now as he blamed the shutdown on Democratic lawmakers. Two unions representing federal employees have asked a California federal court to stop the Trump administration from conducting sweeping layoffs that could permanently eliminate jobs deemed non-consistent with President Donald Trump's priorities. The American Federation of Government Employees and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees argued that a temporary restraining order was necessary to prevent significant harm.
Taking place right now, and it's all because of the Democrats. The Democrats are causing the loss of a lot of jobs with their, it's a shutdown. It's their shutdown, not our shutdown, it's their shutdown.
No tangible signs of negotiations have emerged between congressional leaders since Trump met with them last week. Rank and file Senate Democrats and Republicans have held informal talks aimed at finding common ground on healthcare and other issues in hopes of reaching a deal to reopen the government. On Monday, the Senate is due to vote for a fifth time on the stopgap funding bill that has already passed the Republican-controlled House of Representatives and on a Democratic alternative. Bureau Report, DD India.
Scientists Mary E. Brankow and Fred Ramsdell of the United States, along with Shimon Sakaguchi of Japan, have been awarded this year's Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for their groundbreaking research on how the immune system is regulated. The Nobel Committee recognized the trio for their discoveries in peripheral immune tolerance, a crucial mechanism that prevents the body's immune system from attacking its own tissues. The Nobel Assembly at Sweden's Karolinska Institute said that their work has laid the foundation for a new field of research and opened the door to innovative treatments for conditions such as cancer and autoimmune diseases. The winners will receive 11 million Swedish crowns, roughly 1.2 million US dollars, along with a gold medal to be presented by the King of Sweden.
The Nobel Assembly at Karolinska Institutet has today decided to award the 2025 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine jointly to Mary Brankow, Fred Ramsdell, and Shimon Sakaguchi for their discoveries concerning peripheral immune tolerance.
Excuse me. Now, the death toll from an Indonesian school collapse rose to 63 on Monday as rescuers search for more than a dozen still missing. Part of the multi-story building on Indonesia's Java island collapsed suddenly last week as students gathered for afternoon prayers. Rescues were still working round the clock in the rubble of the school. At least, as we said, several people still remain missing. Investigators have been examining the cause of the collapse as well. Initial indications suggest that substandard construction may have contributed to the incident. One hiker died while 100 others have been rescued as they were trapped by the weather near the eastern face of Mount Everest. More than 200 hikers are stuck after sudden heavy snowfall in China's northwest and western mountain regions over the weekend. On Sunday, 350 trekkers safely reached Kudang, a small township. The remaining 200-plus trekkers have been contacted and search efforts are underway to locate other hikers in the region. Let's now take a look at some other stories making news around the world as well. Urgent relief efforts were ordered on Monday by Thai Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul after flooding was triggered by days of heavy rain and storms hitting 16 provinces over the past week. At least 12 people have died and more than 100,000 households affected. Officials distributed relief aid in affected villages with high level of flood waters. Australia's Victoria State will appeal the sentence handed down to convicted mushroom murderer Erin Patterson, with the prosecutor calling the sentence manifestly inadequate. As per reports, Patterson was last month convicted of murdering 3 elderly relatives of her estranged husband with a meal containing poisonous mushrooms in the township of Leongatha, Victoria. She was sentenced to a minimum of 33 years in prison. Dame Jilly Cooper, the British author of novels such as Rivals and Riders, has died at the age of 88, her agent Curtis Brown said in a statement on Monday. Cooper found huge commercial success in the 1980s with her raunchy novels, which followed the romantic adventures of upper-class characters such as a show jumper Rupert Campbell Black. Indian Air Force test pilot and the first Indian astronaut to visit the International Space Station, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, spoke exclusively with India's public broadcaster DD India. Group Captain Shukla shared his experiences on Axiom Space mission and said it was a proud moment and honor to speak with Prime Minister Narendra Modi when he was in space.
It was an extremely proud moment. You imagine yourself being on the International Space Station, you know, a marvel of human engineering which is orbiting around the Earth, traveling at around 27,000 kilometers per hour, going around the Earth several times, and you have your flag in your background, you know, on your back, and you're speaking to your country's leader. And I think there is nothing more proud to feel. I think it was an extremely proud moment for me, and the realization of what is happening, it happened for me in that moment. That what an absolute honor it was for me to be able to get to do this, a privilege, and at the same time the sense of responsibility of what I do with this now that I have this. So both the things, it was at the same time for me.
Well, to watch the complete conversation with Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, tune into DD India at 8 PM IST tonight. Don't miss this inspiring exchange from space to studio. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri reaffirms India's support for democracy in Bangladesh. And we'll tell you why Prime Minister Modi has termed this year's World Para Athletics Championships very special.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 PM every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Gautam Roy. Now, India's Chief Election Commissioner Gyanesh Kumar has announced that the Bihar Assembly elections will be conducted in 2 phases on the 6th and the 11th of November. Counting of votes will take place on the 14th of next month, determining the next legislative leadership of the state.
बिहार के चुनाव 2 फेजेस में होंगे। पहले फेज के डेट गैजेट नोटिफिकेशन 10 तारीख को आएगा, दूसरे का 13 को। लास्ट डेट ऑफ मेकिंग नॉमिनेशंस पहले फेज की 17 को होगी, दूसरे की 20 को। स्क्रूटनी 18 और 21। विड्रॉल की आखिरी तारीख 20 अक्टूबर और 23 अक्टूबर और डेट ऑफ पोल 6 नवंबर थर्सडे और दूसरा 11 नवंबर ट्यूसडे। काउंटिंग 14 नवंबर को होगी और पूरी चुनावी प्रक्रिया 16 नवंबर तक समाप्त कर ली जाएगी।
Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal arrived in Doha for the meeting of the Qatar-India Joint Commission on Trade and Commerce. The minister chaired a meeting of Qatari and Indian private sector representatives in Doha, where he held discussions on a wide range of topics with Qatari industry and business community. Piyush Goyal paid floral tributes at the statue of Mahatma Gandhi in the Embassy of India in Doha. He also planted a sapling in the embassy premises. Piyush Goyal is on a 2-day visit to Qatar from the 6th to the 7th of October. This visit underscores the importance that India attaches to its trade and investment ties with Qatar, one of India's important trading partners in the Gulf Cooperation Council or GCC.
आज एक पेड़ माँ के नाम का कार्यक्रम भी हमारे एम्बेसी में किया गया, उसके लिए मैं सभी का आभारी हूँ। और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो जलवायु परिवर्तन जो विश्व की एक सबसे गंभीर समस्या के रूप में उभर रही है, उसमें जो ये पहल की है और विश्व भर में जो इसकी पहचान और इसकी स्वीकृति बढ़ रही है, मुझे पूरा विश्वास है ये ग्लोबल मिशन के रूप में एक पेड़ माँ के नाम बढ़ेगा, लोग अपनाएंगे और दुनिया में एक नया मूवमेंट ग्रीनरी के लिए, पेड़ को बढ़ाने के लिए, पेड़ों को बढ़ाने के लिए और फॉरेस्ट्री को और बल देने के लिए आगे चलते रहेगा। धन्यवाद।
India has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting democracy and stability in its neighborhood. Addressing the media in New Delhi on Monday, India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said India is closely monitoring the internal security situation in Bangladesh and firmly supports free, fair and peaceful elections there. He emphasized that India believes in the strength of democratic institutions and hopes to see a representative government emerge through the democratic process.
The internal situation in Bangladesh, we have all seen, for instance, the announcements and the statements. India is firmly in favor of free, fair, inclusive and participatory elections in Bangladesh, and it is in favor of these elections being held at the earliest possible time. We are encouraged by the fact that Bangladesh authorities themselves have spoken about a time frame for these elections, and we would look forward to these elections.
India's Defence Secretary Rajesh Kumar Singh is on a visit to Maldives. The Defence Secretary called on Maldives' Defence Minister Mohammad Hassan Mamoon in Male on Monday. The two sides explored new avenues to further strengthen the existing bilateral defence cooperation between the nations and reiterated the commitment to shared peace, stability and security in the Indian Ocean region. And during his ongoing 2-day official visit, Defence Secretary also called on Major General Ibrahim Hilmi, who is the Chief of Defence Force. The two dignitaries held discussions aimed at deepening bilateral defence cooperation and diversifying the India-Maldives defence partnership. India's Telecom Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia visited the venue of Yashobhoomi to review preparations for the upcoming Asia's largest technology event, India Mobile Congress, to be held between the 8th and the 11th of this month. Promoting sustainable urban mobility, he travelled by Delhi Metro, reflecting the spirit of a connected, modern and citizen-centric India. The 4-day mega event will unite global telecom leaders, innovators, startups and policymakers under one roof to shape the roadmap for 6G, AI-native networks, satellite communications and next-gen digital infrastructure. He also held a press meeting highlighting Indian Mobile Congress's role in shaping India's digital and telecom future.
The future of SATCOM is that the pathway is already put in place. The regulation is in process. The licensing regime is going to be in process soon. And we've already given out 3 SATCOM licenses. I'm very confident that our market should double in the next couple of years.
India remains confident amid global trade uncertainties. Launching the Trade Watch quarterly data for the financial year 2025 in New Delhi, Niti Aayog CEO BVR Subramaniam said that US tariffs have so far not impacted the Indian economy. He also added that optimism remains high, with hopes that a potential trade deal by November will ensure continued stability and prevent any disruption to economic growth.
Both sides are still committed to having a trade deal. So discussions are on, negotiations have happened last month only. So I think both sides are hopeful. Our minister was also in the US. So I think the trade deal is what will actually finally resolve all issues, number one. Number two, it has not yet affected trade. Let me be very, very clear. And this is my own assessment, and this is assessment based on talking to people on the ground. The reason is, just as building trade channels is difficult, unwinding trade channels is also difficult. So people are locked into sellers and our chaps are locked into buyers there. These things are not disrupted overnight.
And time now to get some sporting updates as well. World Championships medalists Lakshya Sen and Kidambi Shrikant will spearhead India's campaign at the Arctic Open Badminton Tournament, which begins in Finland on Tuesday. Sen reached his first final of the 2025 season at the Hong Kong Open last month, but failed to carry the momentum into the China Masters. Joining Sen in the men's singles draw are 5 other Indian players, including Kidambi Shrikant, who discovered some, rediscovered some form with a semi-final appearance at the AIA Masters last week. Asian Games men's doubles champions Satvik Sairaj Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty have withdrawn from the tournament. In the women's singles, rising stars Tanya Hemant and Anmol Kharab will lead India's charge in the absence of 2-time Olympic medalist PV Sindhu. Tanisha Crasto will pair with Dhruv Kapila to headline India's mixed doubles campaign. Pakistan batter Sidra Amin has been reprimanded for breaching level 1 of the ICC Code of Conduct during the Women's Cricket World Cup match between India and Pakistan in Colombo. In addition to this, 1 demerit point has been added to her disciplinary record, for whom it was the first offence in a 24-month period. The incident took place when Sidra forcefully hit her bat onto the pitch after being dismissed in the 40th over. On-field umpires Lauren Agenbag and Nimali Pereira, third umpire Karen Klaste and fourth umpire Kim Cotton levelled the charge. Sidra admitted the offence and accepted the sanction proposed by match referee Chandre Fritz. And Prime Minister Modi has congratulated the Indian para-athletes for their historic performances at the World Para-Athletics Championships. A historic performance by our para-athletes is what Prime Minister Modi said. He's also said this year's World Para-Athletics Championships have been very special. The Indian contingent had its best ever performance, winning 22 medals, including 6 gold medals. Congrats to our athletes. Their success will inspire several people. I am proud of each and every member of our contingent and wish them very best for their future endeavours. Hosting the tournament in Delhi has also been an honour for India. Gratitude to athletes and support staff from almost 100 nations who were part of the tournament. End quote. And India's Paralympic high jumper and medalist Sharad Kumar lauded the government for successfully hosting the World Para-Athletics Championships in New Delhi. In an exclusive conversation with DD India's correspondent Narayan Singh, Sharad praised Prime Minister Modi's vision and efforts in steering India's sports in the right direction.
Indian para-athletes registered their best ever performance at the 12th edition of the World Para-Athletic Championship in New Delhi, and right now I'm joined by Sharat Kumar, the para-high jumper and the Paralympic medalist. Sharat, a fantastic performance by the Indian para-athletes here, breaking all the previous records. How you overall look at the performance of the Indian para-athletes?
Since it is a home turf, I think it is a very amazing performance because we have maximized our medal tally, also increased few, and we are also in a good rank position. And the whole purpose was that to showcase the Indian ability at the home turf. And with so many athletes participating from so many countries, like about 1,500 people, so it is speaking a ton how we are taking as a sporting nation as forward. So I think this is a great results, and we hope that we can carry on forward, winning more events. Everybody put in their heart and soul. There was no stone unturned, be it from the Government of India, Sports Authority of India, Delhi government, Paralympic Committee of India. Everybody got together and came for the event. When there was any issue, it was sorted within 10 minutes. That was the rapid, spontaneous thing we had.
Definitely a rapid and spontaneous response by all the stakeholders. But talking about the infrastructure, if you take a look, the ground here, the Mondo track has been just rolled over here, and outside the stadium, the practice session, the warm-up session also, there is a Mondo track, the floodlights, the very modern, we can say, gym is there. So how you look the infrastructure that has been placed for this mega tournament?
See, it was very essential that we have something so like the Mondo tracks, and now we don't have just one, we have two of them. We are now looking forward to the 2036 Olympics and Paralympics. So it's showcasing what is the potential, how we are going ahead with it. We are now not leaving anything, no stones are unturned for hosting any mega events.
There is also an emotional connect by the Prime Minister of the India, the way he speaks. So how you look this factor in the performance of the Indian sports overall?
See, as I have always mentioned in most of the places, that the Honorable Prime Minister is our brand ambassador for Paralympic Committee. He is the one who's held our hands and has taken us away for winning so much. See, you can see the differences. We have always calculated and improved our medal tallies. It is only because he has been able to support us in right direction. Firstly, it was just about pictures. Now the athlete wants to have a picture with a medal.
The way our athletes are performing, our para-athletes are performing, definitely India is the next powerhouse in the world of sports. With camera person Naveen Narayan Singh, DD India, Delhi.
And that's all we have for this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. And for those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS. Just scan the QR code on the screen to download the app right away. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Gautam Roy from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.